It's not yet sufficiently known among governments, among international agencies, and this has to change. So I was asked to say what's LPG Week about. One of the first things LPG Week is about is trying to make that change, trying to raise awareness of the role that LPG plays today and tomorrow. Of course, it's also a big B2B event. We have a fantastic exhibition next door with a lot of innovation and services from companies from right across the world. It's been 24 years since this event last came to India in 1999. We come back at a time when India is leading the world in providing clean energy access to all households as part of the Ujjwala program. The actions of Indian industry and government have improved the lives of over 500 million people in this country over the last 5 years, and it's truly commendable. We hope that through this event, India will be an example to the world. Beyond the domestic sector, we've heard what a wonderful fuel LPG can be for other applications: marine, agriculture, water gas, and many more. When we were last in India, this event was the largest that we had held for many years, and it was a record which lasted for over a decade. This event is more than twice as large as the last time we held LPG Week, or what was then the LPG Forum in India. And I think this is testament to the interest in LPG and the interest our industry has in India. I look forward to many, many more years of fruitful cooperation between the world industry and India. Thank you very much.
It is a privilege and request Honourable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Sri Hardeep Singh Puri, please deliver the plenary.
Let me start by welcoming all of you. I'm told there are 2,000 participants or delegates from 48 countries back to India. I believe the last meeting of LPG Week, as Mr. Rockford just told us, was in 1998. The story on energy and the story on LPG in particular between 1998 and 2022 is one of transformational change. But let me first of all say how pleased I am. I'm particularly happy that you, Mr. James Rockford, CEO and MD of the World LPG Association, are here in person. My colleague and friend, Mr. Vaidya, CMD of Indian Oil Corporation, Shri Ramakrishna Gupta, Chairman and MD of BPCL, and the Director of Finance of HPCL, Rajneesh. Distinguished speakers, industry captains, sponsors, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I think the theme that you have chosen for LPG Week 2022, humanizing energy, is perhaps even more appropriate than the authors or those who came up with it might be able to envisage. For a country like India, if energy is not available, you would be staring at a crisis which would be difficult to describe. That kind of a crisis, if it comes in smaller countries with less developmental challenges, it poses difficulties enough. But if 1.34 billion people were to look at energy shortages or a crisis that manifests itself in different ways, you would be looking at a situation difficult to describe. In India, we've had LPG as a major source of cooking energy in urban India for many years. If memory serves me right, I think in 2014 we had something like 14 crore connections, which have gone up to something like 32, 33 crore. But the bulk of the households, or rather a large proportion of households, still had to depend on biomass, such as firewood, dung, crop residue, coal, charcoal for their cooking needs. Now, the health implications of using biomass, the inefficiency, the time inefficiency, all the other things put together paints a really compelling picture on why our schemes, particularly Ujjwala and the Blue Flame Revolution, have been so important. The scheme was launched in 2016. It has become a global role model for India's success story in ensuring easy access, energy justice, while achieving climate change and women empowerment goals, and has benefited more than 10 crore households, which would be what, 100 million? The transformational EBT Pahal program not only streamlined and modernized the LPG subsidy mechanism with direct transfer of subsidy into beneficiary bank accounts, but also helped in weeding out a lot of inefficiency in terms of dummy connections and saving the national exchequer something like $9 billion, which was being siphoned off because of that inefficient system. The target initially was about 50 million LPG connections, but with the kind of encouraging response that the scheme received, in April 2018, the target of the scheme was increased to 80 million. And we achieved 80 million Ujjwala connections on 7 September 2019, 7 months ahead of the scheduled target of completion. Realizing the need to achieve complete LPG saturation and for the benefit of those of our citizens who had been left out, Ujjwala 2.0 was launched. Along with that, a deposit-free LPG connection, Ujjwala 2.0 provides first refill and hot plate free, of course, to the beneficiary. And we completed that target also on January 31st, 2022. Just in order to complete the story, we are making a transition to provide clean energy to our large population base. LPG has been a great success, but we are also in a fairly advanced stage of taking that revolution to steps further to harness solar energy and other schemes which will draw on the technological advancements being made in the country. Ujjwala Yojana removed the entry barrier to the adoption of LPG by poor households. The high entry barrier was due to the initial cost of getting an LPG connection, which included access to a connection, a deposit for the cylinder, plus hose, plus regulator, something that cost $20, which perhaps elsewhere may appear a small amount, but for those who are at the bottom rung of development, it was nevertheless considered significant. And the cost of an LPG refill at ₹800, cost of an energy efficient LPG stove. The average consumption of the beneficiaries during the financial year 2019 to 20 was 3 refills of 14.2 kilograms and increased to 4.39 refills during the financial year 2021. The LPG coverage increased from 62% before 2016 to 104.1% in 2022. This showcases that the scheme has been widely accepted by the people and enabled many households to access clean cooking fuel. Clearly, women's empowerment and reduced health hazards. This has boosted the manufacturing sector by increasing the consumption of cylinders, stoves, regulators, and hose pipes. And during the course of the pandemic, if I remember correctly, we gave 3 refills to the beneficiaries free of cost. For protecting the beneficiaries from a surge in international LPG prices, on 21st May 2022, a subsidy of rupees 200, which means $2.5 on a 14.2 kg cylinder, and $1 on a 5 kg cylinder was declared by the government. It is easy for all of us to say that Ujjwala has been a great scheme. I think it has widespread public appreciation. But studies have estimated that at least 150,000 lives have been saved. There has been a 13% reduction in air pollution deaths in a year by reducing 1.8 million tons of PM2.5 emissions. I mentioned to you earlier the figures that we had in 2014 and the figures that we have in 2022. The number of consumers has increased from 312 million and it has gone up, it has increased to 312 million from roughly less than half that amount in 2014. The coverage in India has improved to 105.4% as on November 1, 2022, as I mentioned, from 61.9% on 1st April 2016. The number of bottling plants has increased to 205 as on November 1, 2022, as against 184 in 2014. The number of distributors has increased to 25,327 in November 2022, as against 13,896 in April. Virtually every household in India has an LPG cylinder. Our public sector companies are delivering more than 5 million cylinders a day across the length and breadth of the country. They have loaned nearly 500 million cylinders to households, and the ownership lies with our company. While the inventory of this whopping 500 million cylinders will be accounted for, I do feel the technology of track and trace cylinders would be another great step forward in managing this huge set of cylinders under use. Our requirement is moving up. It would be a great step if the industry could work on renewable LPG or blending dimethyl ether, DME in LPG, by developing right technology and scaling up the model. It goes without saying that LPG does and can even further address some of the SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, such as good health and well-being, gender equality, women's empowerment in villages through socio-economic transformation, affordable and clean energy industry, innovation and infrastructure, climate action. Encouraging innovations in the LPG energy mix, efficiency, conservation would facilitate favorable shift growth and also help in meeting the climate change goals. Renewable LPG, DME mix are some of such uses. The Indian Oil's own innovative brand, Extra Safe, which is improved heating efficiency, can significantly contribute to the mitigation of carbon footprint. Given large quantity of LPG used the world over for primary cooking needs. I have no doubt that the World LPG Week 2022 will provide a perfect platform for communication and cooperation amongst the best in the industry who are gathered here, and allow the exchange of ideas, knowledge, and views on the role of LPG in the energy transition to a low-carbon future. With this, I conclude and wish LPG Week 2022 all the success. Jai Hind.
and portrays the leading role played by the corporation in establishing and spreading the use of LPG in India. Today, as well as 2.0 weeks ahead towards the goal of providing clean smokeless fuel to all households in India, Indian Oil takes pride in how it pilots its pilot project, Mission Smokeless Village. This book is a legacy document that narrates the journey of the consumer super brand Indian since the time it was launched in October 1965. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask Dr. Rahul Ganandhar, Managing Director and Senior Partner at BTG, to please take the lead for a fireside chat discussion with Honorable Minister Srihari Singh Puri. And while we set up the scene for the fireside chat, which is right behind you, if you could please make way for the fireside chat. Or you can do it here. You can do the fireside chat here as well if you would like.